Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi, Diablo 4. So, as I get further along in here, we're going to get some action. This is Elias, he just won't die. Last time I talked to you kind of about sales. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more. Obviously, I'm setting you up for a turn. But we'll talk about sales a little bit more. Really, the key to sales is listening and qualifying people. And that's with everyone in life. If you can listen to them and understand what they want or what they're talking to you, they might not be telling you anything worthwhile. You may be talking to this person, just making casual conversation. You might be at a gas station, at a gas pump, talking to someone. We're not really talking about that. And that is Macy. That's Macy. Caesar. And the high-pitched one is Roxy. Caesar will be a little bit deeper. Roxy, it's okay. So, one of the things when you're trying to establish a relationship with someone, or maybe it's your boss, maybe it's your employee, maybe it's a coworker, spouse, child, friend, anyone, when you're talking to them, you have to listen. And there's a thing called active listening, and it seems trite because I've been in tons of training for it. But basically, you're supposed to listen. You're not listening for a pause. You're actually listening to what the person is saying. And then what you do is you recap it, you recapitulate it to them, you paraphrase what they said to make sure you understand. But you're letting them know that you understand. That gives them a chance to clarify that. And in the sales process, that's very upfront because you want to get the sale, you want to convert this person, so you're taking their questions or whatever, saying, are you trying to say this? Yes, okay. This is how what I'm trying to tell you or sell you helps with that. And there's another thing, features and benefits. If you're not a good salesman, you'll sell the features. It has a i7, 8 cores, 16 thread processor. That's a feature. A benefit is it has a multi-threaded processor that will let you do multiple things at once. So while you're encoding your video, you can then go ahead and watch on YouTube or do some other things. Or this multi-threaded processor will help you encode videos faster. That's a benefit, not a feature. When you're not a salesperson, you sell features because you don't think about the benefits. Why would someone buy a faster computer? Why should you buy a new computer? Well, one of the things on a brand new computer, depending on where we are in the USB-C cycle, it's going to be faster. And compared to older computers, sometimes, if you can believe it or not, Mr. Customer, a USB-C, a lightning bolt port, is going to be faster than an old PC's whole subsystem. So it's just an external hard drive would be faster than your internal hard drive. Gasp. That's a feature. That's a benefit versus feature. It has lightning bolt 3.1, which is, as you know, no one gives a shit about that. Sorry, you two, for cussing. So, I kill Elias at this part, and this is really a chain to get me to the next part. And he was relatively easy with this build. At this point, this build is, I've got it tweaked good enough. I just want to get to level 50 and to get to the next level. Now, what I just said is called hubris. My build is all set. There's Elias again. And he's taking one of my buddies who he was inking up, tatting up. She's a beacon now. Get her out of here. So you're listening a lot when you're selling. That's a good salesperson. Sometimes, and when you're qualifying, sometimes your product, what you're selling is not for that person. If you aren't going on a date and that person's looking for kids immediately and you're not, you're qualifying that person on your dating process. Like I'm about to go on a date with this person right here. I've been waiting to meet you all the time. So, I've explained this to you before about me. When I first get in something, it's hard because I don't know the mechanics. And so, one of the things I'm trying to strafe, and down goes Ronan. Down goes Ronan. So, I think I figured it out for the rest of this. So, I'm talking to you about sales. I've run into a lot of people in my life. They go, well, I'm not a salesperson, but they're selling their ideas. You have that person in the office that always is trying to win you over to their side of the argument. That's a salesperson. You know what the difference between, this is a joke they have about engineers, a well-adjusted engineer and a normal engineer? A well-adjusted engineer stares at your shoes when he's talking to you. Ha, ha, ha. So the thing is, if you look at people and you talk to them and you're empathetic and you want to hear their story, you're probably going to be able to sell stuff. Doesn't mean you can't sell if you don't do that. It means that it's going to be a little bit harder. And I can guarantee you, if you sell from the catalog, you're not going to get anyone to buy anything except someone that didn't need a salesperson anyways. If you can buy something on the internet and you can, which most of us do now, you know exactly what you want. You don't need a salesperson. If you're buying something over $50,000, maybe $75,000, you might need a salesperson that can help you. If you're not the decision maker, then you're going to need a salesperson to help give you the sales arguments. What they teach you in sales is you need a champion in each company. So a salesperson might come to you and bolster you up with knowledge and those kind of things to make you a champion inside your company. When you're selling to a company and you have a champion in that company, you want that champion to be successful. Maybe they don't buy every single product from you, but if you're always a resource for them, that you can connect them with things, they're always going to, and you become friends. That's kind of one of the best ways to sell. Why am I telling you all this? Because I'd like you to subscribe, share, comment, unsubscribe, resubscribe, hit the notification bell. No. What I want you to realize is you're doing this every day with everyone. I've alluded to it. This is what you're doing with everyone. You can't make them do what you want just through your words. You got to listen to what they want, and then you have to be honest with yourself. If what you're offering that person isn't what they're going to need, the best thing you can do is move them on to the next thing. Help shepherd them to the next spot, but they're not going to buy what you're doing. There's that fourth component of sales or anything with anyone is the timing right. I've dated a lot of people in my life, and sometimes the timing wasn't right. In the most part, I was probably too immature for everyone I ever dated. And they were probably ready to have relationships and all that kind of stuff. And as they got older and met people that were more broken. So at this point, time out. You can see I'm strafing this guy. And look at the added mechanic. They won't let me strafe off the map. If you go into that whirlwind, you'll do damage. So that's a nice thing of this area. Remember when you had to come to this area and you got killed in that. But after I figure out the mechanic, and again, remember I have the lightning storm, which gives me heal, so I just settle down, and it's okay to get damage. The damage isn't so pervasive that you're going to die from it. It's more, I'm going to do that. And then, he's going to spill. Look at me just hitting every button on the keyboard. He's going to give you some health pots here. So this sales, this communication really, this idea sharing is something that you're going to use with everyone in your life. And to honestly listen to them. And I had a person commented on, I did a video on being overwhelmed, and he said, what about the situation where you realize it's a big subject and you're dealing with a calm and the person immediately flares? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's a tough situation. Here's the shitty thing I'm going to tell you. Probably is not the right time to talk to that person. And if that person can never get over it, I'm going to give you an example. of someone that's got cheated on in a relationship, those people are hurt human beings. So if you're the first person that dates them after they've got cheated on, they're never going to trust you. There's nothing you're going to do. That's this kind with rebound. I don't know how many people I try to go out with after a rebound. There's nothing I could say that would make them feel better. There was nothing that could assuage how they feel. I couldn't take away that hurt. They were just going to be hurt and had to get over it in their time. Some people never get over that. Why don't they get over that? That's another topic for another day. But that might be when you have to withdraw. What if it's the parent of one of your children? You're going to be with that person the rest of your life. The best thing you can do in those situations is try to get to a point where you're congenial with each other and you're not always at odds. But you can't, if you're in a situation like that where you can't do it and you can't go back and fix it, or the best thing is not let it happen. But like the scenario the person gave, I could immediately imagine that Roxy fighting for the bone. I can immediately imagine scenarios that I've been in. I've gone out with someone, I didn't know they were broken. I started going out with them, I get feelings for them, and they're broke. Now what do? Try to stick in, you stay a little bit. But as I got older in my life, I don't got time. When you're younger, your heart's more malleable. You can go through that stuff. When you get to my age, don't got time for it. That's the danger when you get older. Your skepticism turns into cynicism, and that's horrible. You don't want to be cynical because you look at the world through very sharp lenses, and you don't run out your grounders. You go, that's hit to the shortstop. That's an automatic out. That's hit to the third baseman. That's automatic out. To use baseball references. And it's not fair to anyone in the world to do that. So, this importance of selling, the things I've told you the last two videos, that's for you to use. You cannot change anyone's mind that doesn't want to be changed. Conversely, no one's going to change your mind. People that are afraid that if they're around other people, that it's somehow going to rub off on them, that's not a them problem, that's a you problem. And that goes back to knowing who you are, what you stand for, what your virtues are. There's Roxy. I was talking to someone tonight, and they don't know what they want. And when I worked at a place, that was a question I asked every employee when they come up for a raise or a review. I'd say, what would they want? If someone, Roxy, I'm going to squirt you because this is a critical point. Roxy, what do you want? Roxy wants the bones. Once she gets the bones, she leaves the bones. The other dogs take the bones, and she goes back. She doesn't know what she wants. Not fair to everyone on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. You're not a dog. You're a human being. But do you know what you want? And it's okay if you don't know it all the time. But at a certain point, no one wants to be abused. But the equation when you're with someone that won't change, or is not going to change, or is broken before you got to them, was broken before you got to them, is, would I rather be alone or do the suffering? And I did a video a long way back about being solo or grouping in these gameplays, whether you're solo or group. There's someone I grouped with the other day. I hope I can group with them again in Diablo because it's fun. It's a shared experience. Yes, of course the game's a solo game, but these games are funner when you're with people. And we're going to play again, I'm sure. So that's a little bit on the sales part. That's kind of like the leadership, these kind of things that give you different ways to attack different problems in life. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoy Diablo 4. Ronan Kazi out.